Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the ninth lecture of a series of video lectures of 10th grade biology. This chapter, Coordination and Control, is chapter number 12. In the previous video, we learned neurons, brain and spinal cord as the part of human nervous system. Brain and spinal cord make up the processing unit. They gather the information, analyze it, and then send specific instructions. In this video, we are going to discuss the peripheral nervous system as part of human nervous system. This is what we already know, that there are two components of nervous system: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system is the controlling authority, central controlling authority, gathering information from every organ. Peripheral nervous system consists of the nerve cells in the periphery of the central command. So you can see all these branches, they make up the peripheral nervous system. These branches are the nerves which arise from brain and spinal cord and reach all parts of the body. In simple words, all the body parts, whether sense organs or the effectors, communicate with the central nervous system through peripheral nervous system. It's a network of wires running throughout your body. Based on the two parts of central nervous system, peripheral nervous system has corresponding two components. The nerves arising from brain are called cranial nerves because brain lies in the cranium, and those arising from the spinal cord are named as spinal nerves. So what is a nerve? A nerve is the primary structure of the peripheral nervous system and is composed of bundles of axons. A nerve provides a structural pathway that supports neuron function. A nerve is an enclosed cable-like bundle of axons. The entire nerve is wrapped in a layer of connective tissue. Here you can see these are the bundles of neurons which are grouped together to form a nerve. Nerves are of three types. These may be sensory nerves if they carry impulse towards the central nervous system, or these may be motor nerves if they conduct signals from a motor neuron in the central nervous system to the muscles or the glands. Sensory nerves are also known as efferent nerves. They conduct signals from the sensory neurons to the central nervous system. For example, receptors in the skin. Motor nerves or efferent nerves conduct signals away from the central nervous system to the target muscles or glands, or you can say to the effectors. Mixed nerves contain both efferent and efferent axons and thus conduct both incoming sensory information and outgoing muscle commands in the same nerve bundle. Peripheral nervous system that brings messages to and from central nervous system is of two types: somatic and autonomic. Somatic nervous system deals with the voluntary movements which are under your conscious control with your free will. For example, you want to write something or want to play soccer or eat ice cream, anything that is with your will. Aapki apni marzi. These are controlled by somatic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is responsible for the activities which are not under your conscious control. The involuntary movements such as heartbeat, breathing movement or peristalsis. You cannot control your heartbeat. You cannot stop your heart to beat. कोई मर्जी नहीं है. This autonomic nervous system consists of motor neurons that send impulses to cardiac muscles, smooth muscles and glands. Autonomic nervous system comprises of sympathetic system and parasympathetic system. Sympathetic system prepares your body for emergency situations, for fight and flight. So let's see what is meant by fight and flight. This is a fight response. Tom is trying hard to save itself from shark and using its limbs faster. That means more energy is sent to the muscles of the limbs so it can escape from the situation. This is a fight response. Here all the three are fighting. Here you can see that in fight or in flight. In both the conditions, extra energy is supplied to your muscles, the skeletal muscles of your limbs. Pupils are dilated, and heartbeat or breathing rate, they are also increased. But when the situation is over, when this emergency is gone, what happens? Everything gets normalized automatically. And this is done by parasympathetic system. So both sympathetic and parasympathetic work together. This is a comparison of both types of autonomic nervous systems, sympathetic and parasympathetic. These are involuntary actions going on without your will. So on one side are the sympathetic responses of different organs, and on the other side in the greens are the parasympathetic responses. You can study in detail. I have underlined some of the organs which you can feel normally that it happens to you whenever you are in emergency situation, or you are in fight or flight. Our discussion of nervous system would be incomplete if we do not mention reflex action, which is an involuntary and instantaneous movement in response to a stimulus. You must have experienced it many times yourself while you are working in the kitchen and suddenly you touch a hot object, or you are ironing your dress and you touch the iron. What happens? You withdraw your hand. Reflex actions are therefore essential to the survival of the organism as they minimize the damage to the body. A reflex action is an involuntary action which does not involve the conscious part of the brain and is controlled by the spinal cord itself. So let's see the example which is shown over here in this diagram. A pin pierces your skin by chance while you were working on the table. Let's see what happens. This pin is the stimulus which is received by the receptors in your skin. They are stimulated. A nerve impulse is generated, passes along the sensory neurons to the relay neurons in the spinal cord, which gives instructions through motor neurons, and this impulse goes to the effectors, which are the muscles in this case, and these muscles contract and show the response, that is withdrawal of hand from the pin. This figure gives you an idea of reflex arc, which is the nerve pathway for the reflex action. In this case, a hot object is shown, that by chance you touch a hot object, so reflex action is brought about. That means you withdraw your hand. So what happens? Sensory neurons are involved, impulse is carried to relay neurons and then to motor neurons, so that effectors, they show response by contracting. So you can see over here that it's a curved pathway, and this reflex arc is the pathway which is followed for the reflex action. This ends up the nervous part of coordination. Hope these lectures help you understand what is there in your textbook. Still you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. So till the next video, Allah Hafiz and good luck.